The 2014 season was a landmark season for the Columbus State University Lady Cougar women's soccer program. 21 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw. Their third ever appearance in the national quarterfinals, but once again, it ended in disappointment in that quarterfinal round. They shift gears now to 2015, hoping that the sky has a little higher limit to it and they can find their way all the way to the top and capture their first ever national championship. That journey starts tonight here in Columbus, Georgia, as they get set to take on the Fighting Knights of Lynn University. Hello, everyone. Welcome in. Cougar Sports TV, your home for Columbus State Athletics. We're at the Walden Soccer Complex in Columbus, Georgia. Stephen Williams and Tony Frankovich with you. And Tony, last year, 21-1-1. It's hard to do much better than that, but they're hoping there's a couple more wins at the end of the road.
Good evening, Stephen. It's really nice to be back here this year. I'm very excited for this season, especially we have, I think, that puzzle, that final piece of a puzzle that I think is named Hugren Elversdottir.
Lynn University, the opponent tonight, a 4-11 record last year, but they come with a lot of fresh faces for Callie Morrell in her second year at the helm down there in Boca Raton, Florida. They'll be in the royal blue from head to toe with the white numerals. Alexa Downey will be a freshman in goal. Welcome to your collegiate career tonight, Alexa Downey. Loriana Lonegro, Alexa Vasquez, Donish Cole, Emily Weisberg, Caroline Dewar, Claudia Kraut, Anna Shawley, Jamie Perello.
I think that's the thing that both teams are good at. They're very deep.
Columbus State ranked number 5 in the country in the preseason poll. It's where they finished in the postseason poll last year, ranking as the highest team to be eliminated in the quarterfinal round. They were without a loss until that final game last year. Wade plays it forward for Pearson, and they're going to say Chelsea was offside. But a good ball over the top played by Taylor Marks found Cassandra Wade. And the fun thing about this bunch, you look out there, most of them have serious experience playing, and they're just a year better now.
Exactly. You know, you have just one new player there playing two, maybe. You know that are not regulars. That wasn't regulars last year. So basically, same team.
And then you look at it, and you also have the comfort of knowing that 3 of the 4 in the back line are seniors. And that defensive line should be just as good as it's ever been.
Exactly. You know, I think Brooke is going to complement that team too. You know, as I said, you know, leadership of Casey Davis, but I think that these 3 seniors are just, you know, they know what to do down there. Excuse me.
You look across the field in the back line, all conference, all region, all conference in the midfield, all conference. Third line. Technical difficulties, the beauty of live television. But we are back here at the Walden
And
Soccer
2 goals
Complex.
later.
And wouldn't you know, you step away for a moment and the fireworks happen as the Lady Cougars got 2 goals in a matter of 2 minutes by a freshman playing the first 2 minutes of her collegiate career. Olivia Jarrell stepped onto the field and about 40 seconds later tapped one into the back of the net. And then 90 seconds later found the net for a second time. The first one quite impressive, though, from distance, really blasted one from outside the box.
Under the bars, phenomenal goal. How about that start? Not too shabby, huh?
I'd say that that's a decent start to a collegiate career.
I think so.
I don't know about you, but
she's going to pass in my book. I think. I didn't make up my mind yet, but.
Tori Hood streaking to the right for Columbus State, trying to get on the end of that one. It's hit over the sideline, but while we were gone, the Lady Cougars looked much more like what you were expecting to see.
It's a high-paced game, but you have to give it to Lynn, too. They came to play. They came to compete. They're going up and down. It's a really exciting game, and no-holds-barred game. Been fair game. Lynn attacking, too. They have about a couple of them half a chances, but it's mostly serious chances at CSU's. And Hunger and Elva's daughter is in there, so that's
2-0 Columbus State, the number 5 team in the country on top. Olivia Jarrell with a pair of goals as Lynn commits its 9th foul of this first half. They have been, for a group that didn't win a lot of games last year, they have been a very physical bunch and a bunch that really loves to streak to the offensive end when they put the ball on their foot.
They do. They were attacking with fast with 5 players attacking and counter-attack. But sometimes that can overstretch you because their defense didn't step up with them. There was like 70 yards distance between attackers and their defense. So it could be vulnerability on their part.
So 2-0, Columbus State in front over Lynn University, their season opener for the 2015 campaign. Under 9 to go now here in this first half. The Lady Cougars still limited to just 5 in shots, but they made 2 of them count.
There was some good opportunities or chances to make good opportunity with right pass. But obviously still they're not on the same page. Well, Tori Hood is in there. I will see is this going to be her year. We were expecting last year to be her year. Didn't live up to expectation. I hope that this year will be.
5 of the front 6 for Columbus State have been subbed out from the starting lineup. Tori Hood, Olivia Jarrell, and Hugren Elversdottir. The 3 up front right now for Jay Entlich's bunch. And then in the midfield, Italia Ramirez, a transfer from Georgia Southern, along with Kelsey Lawrence, a freshman in her first season here in Columbus as well, also in the midfield.
Italia is a little bit, it's skillful player, very tricky player. I like her so far. I like what I see.
Taylor Marks, the only holdover in the midfield. And then the back line still intact. Calder, Nail, Rolling, and Larice. Malin Parsons in net, touching it now as we hit 7:35 to go in this first half. So far, so good, even though maybe the shot numbers haven't been there.
Oh, I like rhythm, the way CSU playing fast. They're playing really fast, and they control the ball, control the game. I like what I see. They didn't came here to play slow, to kind of going endless possession of the ball. They're going straight forward to trying to score the goals.
Here are your official times on Jarrell's 2 goals, 25:51 and 27:23. You do the math on that. That's a minute and 32 seconds between goals after she had just subbed in for the first time in her career, 20 seconds prior to that.
I don't remember that anybody done that I either in professional or well, in professional, yes, I probably did. But in college career, I don't remember anybody scoring in 2 minutes 2 goals. It's just
that is you have built yourself quite the mountain to climb to live up to for the rest of your career. A goal a minute, You're doing all right. She did have a
A
great
little bit better
preseason
than
camp,
all
though.
right, yeah.
She had a great preseason camp. She had some good scrimmages for Jay Antlick, and he was excited about the possibility of what she could bring up top into that forward rotation, and it really is a forward rotation, as now we get to see another part of that as they'll bring in
Sonia
another
Field.
one of the new freshmen, Sonia Field, a forward out of Johns Creek, Georgia. So many new faces now after we had so many familiar ones in the starting lineup, but it just shows you the depth and the quality of what's coming across the entire roster for Jay Antlick.
You're not kidding. You know, they do have quality. You know, it's every single player over here is a high-quality player.
Jarrell in the midfield. If you want to go ahead and look really far into the future for this game, there was one hat trick last year, and it belonged to Kiana Nicholson as this one sprayed wide of the net. She did it in a Peach Belt Conference Tournament semifinal. She put all 3 Columbus State goals in the net against UNC Pembroke in the semifinal game. Before that, there hadn't been one since 2011, so there have not been very many hat tricks in Columbus State program history, and she's 1 goal away, and we're still in the first half.
I mean, you know, Columbus State shares the wealth. You know, everybody. It's not one man's or two man's team. It never was. So you're very fortunate to score 3 goals on this team. Not everybody play whole game. CSU may have players score hat trick, but it's very difficult.
That is one of the things. You look at the stat line at the end of the year, and last year, this was a bunch that went 21-1-1. Nobody scored double-digit goals. Nicole Corsione and Kelsey Pelletier, who's no longer with the program, 9 goals apiece led the program. But I believe that early in the season, it was something like 15 different players had scored in the first
I remember we
15
talking
games
about
or so.
that nobody has that. Every team we seen that we played, actually games that you and I did, there was always 1 or 2 players that or 3 that were scoring all goals.
On the far side of the field, Lynn working with it. They have 4 shots so far, but really haven't come up with a big challenge for Malin Parsons. Most of their shots have been off the mark.
That final third, they're finishing, final touch, final shot. You know, it's not there. It takes a little bit more cutting edge, you know, to beat that CSU defense. So at this point, I just don't see it that Lynn can be serious threat to CSU. Although they have spirited challenge to CSU. Coach
Jay Antlick up off the bench, not happy with Italia Ramirez, and he said something that you usually don't hear coaches say. He said, "Stop passing it."
Yes.
He wants her to play on the ball, not off it.
Because I've seen her when she came in. She had some little bit of skill. She's pretty good one-on-one. You know, that's maybe a little bit too soon pass.
It can be a good problem to be a little too unselfish. Sometimes you need to just keep it for yourself.
You know, Messi is the best player in the world. You know, well, a lot of people argue Cristiano Ronaldo is, but if you tell him just to pass it every time you have a ball, he never would be Messi. He wouldn't be $50 million player.
Earlier in the match, Jay Antlick said a similar thing to Cassandra Wade. Said, "Cassandra, you have to be selfish sometimes. Sometimes if you're in a good position, take it."
It's hard on this team because, you know, everybody wants the ball, you know, and if you don't pass the player that she's not going to pass it to you. That sometimes goes like that. And this team is very unselfish team. They were always unselfish, a little bit too much. That's what Coach Jay was alluding to.
Loose in the center, Taylor Marks will clear it away. And it will be with Italia.
That's why he wants her to hold the ball. That's a yellow card there.
11 fouls now against Lynn with 2 minutes to go.
Ramirez have a really good skill. I saw her, really good technical on the ball, strong on the ball. We would like to see her a little bit juke players, you know. That's what CSU a little bit missing, that kind of player, you know. Latin flavor, what I call.
Rolling, clears it down. Elversdottir with a good touch to herself.
What a control.
Trying to play it past the defender. Instead, ended up hitting her right in the face. It's Weisberg that's trying to mark her. Elversdottir streaking down the right side. They go Gerald to Field in the center. Field has it slid off her foot.
Yeah, there should have been one touch. You know, I see Elversdottir was a little bit upset, not upset, disappointed the ball didn't came to her on that wall pass. She could have gone in. But that control that he has, that's world-class control, Steven. It's not easy to control. That's stone dead on your foot.
2-0 where it stands, under a minute to go in the first half. The Lady Cougars trying to add one more right before the halftime break. Elversdottir, the cross into the center, put it in a good spot. Nobody there to receive it, though. Calder back into the center. It has the foot of Lawrence with the left foot, chipped it just wide of the post. Would have been quite the night for the freshman, and Lawrence got that one. All these returners, we need to start talking about the newcomers.
You know, that's really good news for Coach Jay. I mean, wouldn't you be excited your freshmen's making difference here?
Down to 10 seconds. Lynn hoping they can get a late run, though. It's cleared away, and it looks like we'll head to halftime with a 2-0 score. Olivia Gerald, the spark plug. The firecracker came right off the bench, came in, put in a pair of goals in a 2-minute stretch, and CSU goes in with a comfortable 2-0 margin at the moment. But you know, Jay Antlich, there will be no backing off, and this team will be going for 4, 5, and 6 in the second half.
Exactly. They need to have a good start of the season. They need to be impressive for 90 minutes. You remember last year you and I were really kind of being upset that we, Coach Jay as well, but we gave up late goals and spoiled maybe good games. We gave a goal or two, and this year I don't think he's going to take a chance of that. They're going to play full 90.
Columbus State puts 2 on the board in the midway point of the first half. They lead it 2-0 over Lynn in the 2015 season opener here in Columbus, Georgia. We'll take the halftime break, a shortened break here in the Collegiate Invitational, just 9 minutes showing on the clock. So we'll take a short break. We'll come back and join you for the second 45 minutes of action here from the Walden Soccer Complex. CSU leads Lynn 2-0 here on Cougar Sports TV. For about 2 minutes, Olivia Gerald dominated play, and that was enough to give Columbus State a 2-0 lead over Lynn in the season opener. Here in 2015, Olivia Gerald came into the contest. 30 seconds later, had her first career goal. 90 seconds later, had her second career goal. And it was quite a start to her collegiate career, and we'll see how it continues with 45 minutes still to go. Stephen Williams here with you at the Walden Soccer Complex as we get set for the second half of action, and Tony Frankovich with us here as we get ready for the second half of action. And Tony, overall, Olivia stole the show for about 2 minutes, but it was a good half start to finish for CSU.
It was, they started from first to last minute. It was high tempo, full speed ahead, nothing slow. So I think this is what we're going to see from CSU, high tempo game, using their depth to their advantage and quality. Lynn also didn't came to defend here. They came nothing to lose, and they're playing open soccer. So it's an exciting game.
Different change of look here for CSU and Jalen as they start the second half in all white, working right to left. Olivia Gerald gets the start in the second half. I'd say she earned it. She's out there up top with Mandy Janowitz and Nicole Corsione. Taylor Marks back in the midfield along with Italia Ramirez, and then a newcomer who we haven't seen just yet, Lauren Sutton, tall number 22 out there in all white. The back line unchanged. Andy Larice, Shelby Rowling, Brooke Nail, and Becca Calder with Malin Parsons in the net. An immediate handball on the part of Lynn will give it to CSU on the plus side of the field for a free kick for Taylor Marks.
Taylor have a good foot on her. That ball will be deep on our El Tanque Corsione. There you go, that's Corsione.
Good ball.
What a flake.
Flicked forward, and it takes all of 30 seconds.
It's offside.
And they're going to wave it off.
It
the offside flag was up.
I betcha it wasn't offside. When you look at the replay, it wasn't offside. That was really bad call.
Clock starts.
There wasn't offside in my book. I've seen it. When she made the run, she was on that flick.
So wipe off the first goal
go.
of the year for Mandy Janowitz after the header flicked forward by Corsione, and it stays a 2-0 game. Streaking down the right side, coming for it for Lynn is Alexis Vasquez. Had it kicked away from her for a moment.
Shelby Rowling is as safe as banks in Switzerland. I would put my money on her anytime.
Here is Cole for Lynn on the right side, working against Shelby Rowling. And Rowling won it away for a moment onto the foot. Now of Vasquez. Rowling again challenging and pokes it away from her to the near sideline for a throw. 90 seconds gone by in this second half. Columbus State holding a 2-0 advantage on the first two career goals of Olivia Gerald.
I still can't get over that goal. I mean, they called it back, I don't think rightly, so I think that's a bad decision.
Whether it counted or not, it was well done, though. Connected on a free ball, and then a header flick and a chip right over top of the goalkeeper coming charging out. You really draw it up exactly like that.
Yeah, I was just about to say, she's going to look for Corsione over there, El Tanque. She went up there, perfect flick.
Lynn's back line, working it forward, trying to toss it over the top. Andy Larice mistouched it, kept it alive, but then a poor pass sent in by Lonegro. Now CSU with a 3-on-3 counter going out wide. A little too far for Corsione, and it will fall right into the waiting hands of Alexa Downey at the 18-yard line.
Ramirez overcooked that pass a little bit that time.
Marks deflects one advance, gets on the end of the other. And Gerald can't keep it in bounds just underneath us. CSU gets Lynn tonight. They get a very good Lee squad that we just saw in the match before this fall to Rollins. They get them on Sunday at 4:30. And then Jay Entlick decided his schedule wasn't hard enough, so he's going to Tampa and to number 2 Rollins next weekend.
You know, I wish I can see that game. That's going to be exciting game. But I tell you what, that Sunday game in the heat probably is going to be challenging for CSU. I still think if CSU go up tempo like this game, I think they lead doesn't have enough depth to match that. There's Corsione playing to Gerald. Well, let's see what Gerald's going to do. He got good speed. That's it.
And ran right over the defender. And they're going to be the offensive foul. She drew the charge.
Little too much of shoulder there.
And she's got her eyes on goal number 3.
She's not scared to getting mixed up over there physically neither. You know. Very impressive, very impressive.
This is built out of the same mold of how we watch Nicole Corsione play.
Exactly. You stole my thought. I was thinking it's her disciple. Corsione number 2. Oh, that's a foul.
Foul from behind. It goes against Georgia Robert, redshirt sophomore from North Yorkshire, England.
Taylor marks again. Let's see another set play. But
this time they send 5 out wide to the right, set to crash in.
Gonna be scored right there, far post. Not deep enough though.
That time, not enough steam behind the pass.
Well, she came basically there with 2 steps, so she couldn't generate enough power to cross that.
Come out wide for Vasquez. It's nothing but her in green space over here. Larice playing catch up. 1-on-1 now on the side. Kicked it right into the gut of Andy, who then takes it away from her and shields her off until she has time to get rid of it. So good recovery defense there on the part of Andy Larice, a veteran now of that back line in her final year.
Andy is really a outstanding defender. As I said, to be, what are you looking for, being All-American or something? You got to add that offensive, attacking touch, attacking skill. But defensively, she's hard to beat. Her and Becca both are hard to beat.
This is Lauren Sutton, the freshman. Driving down the right side, had it taken away. Sutton, a freshman out of Warner Robins. This is one of those recruiting classes that you look back on, you may go, this is going to be a bunch that will be here for a long time making an impact. Cole's shot attempt that time well high over the crossbar.
I've seen Sutton play before. I think they play against our teams, against our Columbus team, so she's a very good player. Got a good size.
This team,
5'11",
This team assembled by a coaching staff that isn't here anymore. Jay Entlick, not only did he turn over a couple of spots on the roster, but turned over his entire coaching staff. Nick Zimmerman, a former MLS professional and a veteran in some other leagues, coming in as the new assistant coach. And Sarah Sierra, a all-conference goalkeeper at Jacksonville University, is now on the staff as well because his other 2 graduated to the Division I ranks. Rade Tanaskovic taking a job at the University of Louisville up there in the ACC. And Mary Manson, the former player turned assistant coach up at Division I Belmont up in Nashville now. So it's not only the players that go and do great things, the coaches have done big things as well.
That's one thing about Jay Entlick. He develops coaches too, not just his players. So it's amazing job that he done through these years. High quality people and high quality coaches and players he developed here.
Those are the ones that helped assemble this recruiting class that has been so good through preseason and already tonight in the first 50-plus minutes as that shot is high from Robert.
His shots are 6-5 in favor of CSU, but I think it actually gives compliment to Lynn. They really playing open game. They're trying to attack, but other than this shot like this, I don't see they have that cutting edge to penetrate. But behind that stout CSU defense.
Well, that's the thing. Malin Parsons hasn't really been forced to
Not
make
really.
a whole lot of plays back there. She's had some shots come her way, but they've either been ones easy for her to handle or they've sailed over or wide of the net. Hasn't been anything really threatening to this point.
To me, this shot here that was taken could have been dangerous, but I think that's the only way I see Lynn can score on CSU. That kind of long range shot, I just don't see it. That cutting edge offense, that they can penetrate behind via passing or even speed, long ball. Shelby rolling wouldn't allow that.
Good crowd on hand tonight at the Walden Soccer Complex. First game on campus of the 2015-16 athletic year. Columbus State Volleyball actually kicked off the season as they played earlier today, but they were on the road up in Milledgeville in a tournament at Georgia College, and they're actually playing right now as well in their nightcap of the day. But this is the first home event of the season. And Columbus State right now kicking it off in style with a 2-0 lead. Working in the 55th minute of action here against Lynn University.
It is an exciting game. I mean, a high-tempo game. My kind of soccer. I don't want to sleep.
Well, we've done enough games to know that you watch teams come in here, and if they feel that they're overmatched, they'll come in and drop 10 back, and one will go up and play out top, and they'll really never get it to her, and it'll be a 1 or 2 nothing game with about 20 shots by CSU, most of them from outside the box. This hasn't been that kind of game because Lynn has decided we're going to try to attack as much as you do.
I think they want to learn a lot from this game. To me, that's what I think they're trying to do.
Well, they came here to win versus trying to tie.
Yeah.
That's a different mindset from how some teams come in this place.
For me, it's a lot of time. You want to win. Everybody want to win. But what's your realistically? Can you win? It's a lot of time. It's a really long shot. But it's important. You want to compete. You want to compete for every ball. Ooh. Like that. You see, there was pressure on defense, so they competing. They may not have a quality to win this game, but they have that competitive spirit. They want to be in it.
Lynn trying to get their attacks going. Shots up to 6 apiece now. So even on the scoreboard at this point. Not very many times you can say that for opponents that come in here. It's usually the top of the line opponents, and now Ramirez tries to go down the center of the field. Tried to back touch it to Corsione, finally got it to her, but in traffic, and Nicole unable to keep it. Larice denies the pass going forward.
Impeccable, Larice. Impeccable defending.
Now Sutton just outside the circle. Forward for Corsione, who nearly connected the pass there in what would have been a great scoring chance.
Nicole making really good runs, we just wouldn't able to connect, ball was a little bit too wide couple times or too short here, that's all coming with a matter of time. And they start playing, develop that chemistry from game to game, it's going to get better.
Gerald racing down that sideline, you see the foot speed there.
Yeah, some wheels, no doubt about it.
Closed in on that, but couldn't get to it in time, and now we'll have a sub coming in on both sides. Cassandra Wade will come back. Italia Ramirez will come off. And on the opposite side, Caroline Dewar will come back in for Lynn, and she will replace Kelly Field.
Ramirez tried to do some. You can see that she has a really ton of skill. That what I always say in Latin flavor. She can juke the players left and right. We'll see how that's gonna fit in CSU games. It seems to me Coach Jay Antlik wants her to do more, to do those kind of stuff, and then when you do those moves, do you give that good pass and stuff like that, or maybe have a good scoring chance yourself to be more productive.
Good touch by Corsione, finds Wade. Wade to the right for Janowitz. A chance at goal, but fired it off wide of the right post. Good connection, good sequence.
Nice sequence.
Just didn't finish it all the way through.
Yeah, that far post shot that we always been saying last year, So.
Janowitz struck it well, blasted it well, but just wide out to the right. But again, it was really a good sequence set up by that touch by Corsione.
Perfect combination play. End up just about right man having the ball, the best positioned man.
Nicole, not just a scoring machine. She is an All-American because she does score a lot of goals. But you look last year, she led the team, had 7 assists as well. So she's not just a one-trick pony.
She is tireless player. You know, she keeping that defense is honest all the time. She takes it and she gives it a lot. She dishes a lot, you know, physical aspect of the game. So.
And one of the more fit players you'll see. We watched her. Of course, Jay doesn't let her play 90 minutes a game because she wouldn't have anything left by the time the season ended. But when they got to the end of the year last year, she played every minute of that game against Lenore Rhine down in the regional final down there in what was a very tough physical game. And yet she was at the end of the year able to go a full 90 minutes as a forward nonetheless.
You know, when you're going in a battle, a serious battle, then you know, you're asking, do I want to go with this person or not in battle next? That's the one that you go in a battle with.
You want her to be on your side.
On my side, in my foxhole. And you know she's gonna give all she had. You know.
Downey jumped on that long ball before anyone else could get to it, and Shelby Rowling called for the foul, though it looked more like Cole just kind of slipped.
Yeah, it seems. I think she has a point there, but everything from behind now they're calling foul, Steven. Everything, even if it's minimal touch.
2-0 the score. 15 minutes into this second half, closing in on the 61st minute of action. Georgia Robert, the sophomore, set to tee up this free kick. 20 yards plus side of midfield.
We're pretty deep in the box defending. Usually your magic line is an 18-yard line, and we kind of really deep.
And that went way too long. An easy play for Malin Parsons to make, and now she's going to try to start the counter as she hits a flying Becca Calder up the right sideline. Gerald now dribbles forward into the center, goes right around the defender. Gerald already with 2 goals tonight, finally had it stepped away from her.
That's a little bit freshman inexperience. She had 2 players over there. She could squeeze that before she touched it herself. That last touch, she should have passed that ball before she touched the last. And that could have been breakaway. Something that you know, coaches can address when they see video of this game. Is say, hey, release and keep going. She could have probably get that ball back and had breakaway on wall pass.
It's a delicate balance of knowing when to get rid of it and when to keep it. He tells you sometimes to be selfish and sometimes you need to give it up.
Yeah, you know, you give it up when there's opportunity for it, when you have to give it up. And that was in that case. She made good run, beat one defender. That ball should have been passed, and she would continue that run. And I bet my life she would get that ball back.
3 subs coming in for CSU, 2 of them starters. Chelsea Pearson coming back in, Claire Boulay back in. Hugren Elver's daughter, the Icelandic transfer from West Florida, back onto the pitch as well. 28 and change to go, 2-0 in the season opener. Columbus State in front of Lynn.
We'll see Hugren and Chelsea playing together, how that they kind of similar type of players, you know, a lot of speed, good shooting technique, good skill. We'll see how that's gonna. They both playing on the flanks, wide forwards.
And you have Corsione in the middle, who just gets to work up and down the center of the field. So this is a dangerous combination with different skill sets in each person.
For me, that's my personal opinion would be this is your A lineup here, A front 3. This is a lot of talent here.
And yet, the one with 2 goals is not out there. That's what you get used to, though, after you've watched Jantlick's teams play. Mm-hmm. Not a lot of individual, a lot of team.
Yeah, that's all. He builds. He wants those individual skills, but within team concept, you know.
Wade, after the turnover, steps around defenders with the
go.
left foot, hit it off the right post. Dodged a couple of defenders and nearly netted her first.
That's what I call intellectual soccer. You know, the intelligent run. She made good run. She didn't kill that ball. She basically passed that to far post.
Cassandra Wade, who plays in that midfield, she scored 5 goals last year, including some big ones. She
Yeah,
had some huge goals in her freshman season.
sure she did.
Chelsea Pearson on the corner, driving it
That's
low.
great.
Elversdottir trying to tap it around in the box and then just ran right over the defender in the box and picks up the foul.
She had a surgery on her foot. I don't know.
And she is a
No,
little
she-
gimpy as she comes up to the other end of the field. Trying to walk it
kinda-
off, but she's another one that, again, big body, tall, offers you
Fast.
something a little bit different than what you already had, which is why she's so valuable, because
Yeah.
not only is she good, but she's something that you don't have with a little size.
In big games, you know, you, well, freshman maybe is gonna be over her, but this is experienced player playing Iceland, and she could make a difference.
Corsione trying to get a cross in, was taken down. The cross found the foot of Cassandra Wayne, who's still alive with it, finally taken away from her. Larice fighting with Vasquez for it, and Larice able to win it away. CSU really stepping on the gas pedal now, trying to finish
There you
off
go.
Lynn as Elversdottir fires her first, and it's a one-hopper into the waiting arms of Downey.
Last year she scored upper 90 far post from same situation for West Florida. That's the first time I've seen her, you know. So this is the player.
West Florida is here, but CSU and the Argonauts do not meet in this invitational or in the regular season. So the next time they would see each other, if at all, would be a national quarterfinal game, and wouldn't that be something?
It would.
Long way to go till they reach that point, though. 18-game regular season, 3-game Peach Belt Conference tournament, and then on to the NCAA tournament, although this is the kind of year now where if Columbus State were to be the number 1 seed in the NCAA tournament, they would get to host the first 4 rounds should they keep advancing. So it's a long way into the future,
That'll be good news for us too.
but you do think about some of those things when looking at it. Lynn really not threatening here in the last 10 minutes or so as CSU has controlled possession. Campbell hits it off of Elversdottir, who keeps it alive on the near sideline, off to Pearson.
That's that combination I'm talking about. That
Pearson.
penalty.
Pearson, a blast. She thought it was a handball. Referee signal no, it came off the hip. They work it to Vasquez up the field. And Vasquez takes down Larice. And Lynn continues to rack up the fouls. That's number 13, although Columbus State has 8. So we watched a game before this that was physical. The referees kind of sat on things, and we didn't have very many fouls. In this one, it almost seems necessary at times. Some of these have to be called.
On the rolling foul over there earlier, that wasn't foul. That wasn't called previous game. You know, it's fine. Referee wants to control the game so it doesn't get out of hand. Sometimes you don't want him to whistle what you're not supposed to whistle. This he has to whistle on this. It's pulled from behind. But Lynn playing honest game here. They came to compete, playing honest game. They don't defending with million players back there, making wall in front of their box, building cement from Home Depot, bringing bricks. They came to play.
Tori Hood coming back on for Columbus State, as is Jamie Perriello for Lynn. Corner kick coming up for the Lady Cougars. It'll be Taylor Marks in the corner. Marks hits one into the center of the box, got through everyone though. Hood was there, Elversdottir there, and Brooke Nail was the last line that got through all 3.
It wasn't high enough for Elversdottir. Dropped kind of awkwardly to her. You know, they were making good run, but just ball wasn't dropping favorably for CSU.
2-0 where we stand, 22 minutes to go, and so far, Jandlik will be happy with the result. if it holds this way, but there's going to be plenty of teaching points for him to pick up before they take on Lee on Sunday. Is this a handball that will go against Andy Larice?
You know, that's handball half a yard away. You know, there's no way she played that ball. Ball playing the hand. It's different, handball and ball to hand. You know, that was ball to hand. It wasn't intentional. What's the difference between this and penalty maybe down there? So sometimes referees have these double standards, you know, where they same foul in the box they don't call, in the middle of the field they call foul. I was always against that, you know, call it what it is. If it's foul, call the foul.
Calder chasing over there in the corner. Nail in the center, though, able to take the cross away. And it will belong to the Fighting Knights with 21.
Amazing, yeah, watching professional games today, like Germany playing in a box. That's absolutely wrestling match for corner kicks, and they don't call anything there. Same thing happened over there. They're giving yellow cards to players.
Tori Hood on the move now. Campbell trying to track her down, and Campbell did win the race. She had the angle, and Tori nearly snuck around her.
Well, that ball went away from Tori. If it came a little bit to the left, I think she would have a chance to get behind it.
If it did get to Tori, it was nothing but her, green grass, and the goalkeeper.
And defender didn't have a good angle. I mean, to get that ball, she would probably have to foul her, which would be professional foul, red card.
Downey with it now. Will get a chance to play it out of goal. Columbus State with the last 4 shots, upping their edge to 10-6 now. Still not an exorbitant amount of shots on the part of the Lady Cougars, but they've had tons of chances, just some of them haven't resulted in shots.
You know, in a game, tight game, in really competitive game, that's you going about 10 shots, you know, 10, 15 shots, no more than that, usually. 25 shots, that don't happen unless team playing bunker and you're shooting missiles away from 30 yards, 40 yards out. You can have many shots. Obviously, when it's open game, you don't get that many shots because a lot of things are happening in the midfield, in the middle of the day. A lot of plays are stopped there. You don't get close to the goal to take a shot.
Summer Schultz, the one that was shaken up for a moment. They're checking to make sure that she is good. They did stop the clock during that point. So the clock is stopped with just under 20 minutes to go.
U.S. national team, men's national team playing. They were down 1-0 to Peru. Playing same time as our game.
Is that causing some trouble there for you trying to decide what you needed to watch? Do we need to let you go?
No, you don't, especially when we're losing, you know.
Calder will play this one back to Parsons, who will clear it from the goal. Pearson, a good touch and a through ball going for Elversdottir, but it's going to bend away from her, and Downey will come out of net to play it.
Ooh, that was...
Pearson hops right up off the deck after being clobbered that time by Brianna Limaris. It'll be a deep throw now for CSU on their own sideline near the bench. Put it on the foot of Wade right at the top of the box. Off for Pearson to reset it, looking for somewhere to cross. Defender Vasquez right in front of her. And Vasquez does a nice job to win it away.
Good recovery. She's attacking player. She went down there and defended. Vasquez is a pretty good player in my book. I mean, she got good skill. She's feisty. How many games CSU have this year, regular season? How many?
At home?
20,
18 regular season.
18 regular
They will
season.
play 11 of them on this field. 7 of them will be on the road, including 2 of them they have next week at Tampa and at number 2 Rollins.
So most of we're going to be home. So last year was opposite.
It was the exact opposite. Did not play very many home games at all. And then they added a couple in the postseason, getting the Peach Belt first round game and also the NCAA first round, or rather second round game, since they get a bye in the first for being the number 1. What a year it was last year, though.
It was a fantastic year. I mean, sometimes that you wake up and you think you lost only one game.
You lost the very last one you played prior to the loss to Rollins. The only blemish on the schedule was a 0-0 draw at Lee early in the season. Other than that, winning side, a perfect 11-0 in Peach Belt Conference play.
You know how difficult that is. You know, in soccer is almost impossible that you go undefeated.
It had not happened very many times, and they became one of the only teams to have ever gone through without a draw.
Even Novak Djokovic loses sometimes.
Not very often, though.
Not very often.
It'll belong to Lynn right there in front of the CSU coaching staff. A lot of new faces down there. A couple familiar ones. Jay Entlick, the only one standing up at the moment, hands on his hip.
I mean, Jay need a couple more goals in this game. You know, that he wants him to score a couple more goals. It's 2-0 is a solid quality win. You know, you can say quality win. 2-0 is clean-cut win, but 3-4-0 sounds a lot impressive.
Well, it just gives him some teaching points and some places to build on before Sunday. A soccer team, an ever-evolving project that you're hoping you don't get fully assembled until the end. Get them clicking on all cylinders at the end of the year. That is certainly what happened for Columbus State a year ago, and now a lot of space to work as Elversdottir plays it off to Wade. Pearson in front of her. Tori Hood to the right, which is where she goes. It got through Tori, though, who tried to play it with the shoulder to try to touch it to herself.
Chelsea Pearson made good run. There was 2 chances to pass ball to her. Elversdottir first and Wade. They have opportunity to give her that ball.
2-0 still where we stand. It's where we stood at halftime. Olivia Jarrell scored a pair of goals, one in the 26th minute, one in the 28th minute. And here we are now in minute number 75, and those 2 goals still standing up here in the season opener. Again, Columbus State will take a result that is in their favor, but they would like to have a few more put into their tally on the scoreboard. Lynn has done a nice job, though, of bending but not breaking. CSU has controlled the possession most of the time. They've had it in their attacking third a lot, but they haven't given up very many shots.
No, it was no quality shot that was against CSU.
Pearson in a foot race now with Campbell. Won the race to it, but Campbell is very physical.
Very physical and smart defender. She's hard to beat, probably Gerald down there singing, "Put me in a coach." You want a goals coach, put me in.
Very physical defender. That's a couple times now on balls where CSU may have had a shot to get on a breakaway. She's done a nice job of getting in the way.
She did earlier.
CSU again continuing to control possession and not allow it to get very deep. It has been a rather boring half for Malin Parsons back there in net. You're the goalie, sometimes you're lonely, and she's been down there by herself most of the night.
Yeah, she's bored, definitely. She's looking at the game.
I think you'd rather be bored as a goalkeeper, though, than constantly busy.
No, well, not in goalkeepers' world. They want to be busy, Jay Antlick like that the other way.
Well, let's just say the rest of the team likes it better if she's bored.
Yeah, she doesn't. I guarantee you that.
Brooke Nail moving forward, lost it for a moment, Andy Larice now comes over to win it away from Vasquez.
There's another front line coming in.
I was going to say, here comes a group of 3 forwards about to sub on right now for Columbus State, and this is what is so tough if you're an opponent. Here comes a set of fresh legs for the final 13 minutes as Elver's daughter, Hood.
That's probably those defenders saying, oh, no.
Elver's daughter, Hood, and Pearson are the ones that come off.
Elver's daughter was limping, if you noticed. You know, she wasn't running right. You know, she after that challenge that she was claiming it was a cleat challenge, and ever since that moment she wasn't 100%.
It was Gerald, Janowitz, and Corsione that came on, and they will make up this front line now for Columbus State, who has just a plethora of forward options up front.
Not many schools can pull 3 out and bring 3 just as good in.
And then there's others, as Malin Parsons finally gets in on the action. That's her.
Oh, she loved
We
that,
see her.
you know. Keep the ball, Malin. We're going to get another ball to play with.
You get a little airtime for her. Hasn't had much in the half. Gerald flicked it forward and gets it back now. Tried to step it over to Corsione, but didn't have enough mustard on it. You see now Lynn, though, looking a little tired trying to get to some of these, racing up and down the field.
Shelby rolling. Perfect play.
Belay through ball. Corsione, the top of the 18. The shot bounces in and is picked up on the dive by Downey.
I mean, I'll take a shot. You know, it's Corsione. She scored a lot of goals for us, but Janowitz was over there streaking in. Just a little squeeze that ball in the middle would be breakaway. You know, that one thing that they need to look at tape and say, you know, can I see that run?
Vasquez with a good through ball here, but Calder, fresher legs going for that one, was able to clear it from trouble in front of Caroline Dewar.
Becca Calder, when did we call her name? In the beginning of the game?
In the starting lineups.
She wasn't busy at all.
Usually, though, if we're not talking about a defender, that means she's doing her job. If you're talking about them, they're either playing superbly or they're having trouble.
They didn't attack that other side, that left flank.
Kelsey Lawrence back in, the freshman out of Suwanee, Georgia. Cassandra Wade comes off the field. Kelly Field back in for Lynn. This one headed right to Cole, who has it at the top of the 18. Shelby Rolling just squats on it. And then it's cleared away by Nail. And Nail, for all intents and purposes, has done a very nice job to this point in her freshman season, her college debut, playing in the center of a veteran all-senior back line.
Shelby Rolling, Miss Impeccable. That's what I would call her.
Gerald kept it alive on the near sideline. Now double teamed and taken away. Emma Portsmouth stepped in and took the pass away from her. Rolling.
You tried to beat the wrong player there.
Doesn't matter that she gives up quite a bit of size.
She's such an intelligent player. You know, she sees the play. She sees the stuff coming, reading the play, have a vision.
There are 6 seniors on this Lady Cougar team in 2015 as that one stung, and Malin Parsons will lay on an extra second longer just to make sure she's okay. But there are 6 seniors. All of them bring quite a bit to the team. Will be tough to replace, but none may be tougher than Shelby Rolling when she's done, whenever this season does come to a close. What she's brought for 4 years, really 3.5, because you lost a half after she tore up her knee in her freshman year. The shot is wide to the left. Parsons went sprawling after it. The shot went wide of the target, and with 8:15 to go, Malin Parsons will have a goal kick with a clean sheet still on the board.
That was good left-footed shot. I thought that ball was about to go in. Uh,
We're in that time now, though, where last season this was where they'd give up that goal that just kind of left a sour taste in your mouth at the end of the night.
that's exactly what I was thinking, guys. You know, I for some reason I don't know how many games we gave up goal in the last 10 minutes, last 5 minutes.
It wasn't a ton because they had 14 shutouts last season, but they stick in your mind because they were playing well, and then you just give up a silly one late.
And the year before we were giving, before last year we were giving late goals. I know Jay was complaining about it. I think pretty much towards second part of season we got away from that. I think we finished the games, you know, especially North Georgia game. You know, it was full 90 minutes.
12 shutouts last season for Malin Parsons. That was a CSU program record. Nobody ever in CSU's history had shut out an opponent that many times, and so she is already climbing up the record books in the goalkeeper statistics, and she's played just 2 of her 4 eligible years so far in a Columbus State uniform, and she's 645 from another shutout to her tally.
You remember last year when we did for the very first game, it was 50-50 between her and Miosha, you know, and that game, that what we said maybe undone Miosha, you know, maybe Miosha was even ahead of her to begin with, you know, so, and then that's when she got her job, and ever since she was brilliant.
Well, Miosha Hatcher was the starter 2 years ago, started this significant portion of the year. Malin played a little bit, but yeah, they went into the start of last season, the opening game, 50-50, 45 minutes and 45 minutes, and all it took was a match and a half as Gerald, trying for another one, nearly got it into that top corner. But it was really a match and a half was all Jay Enlick needed to see. Malin Parsons was it from there, and then she went on to have a huge weekend the next weekend of the year in Pensacola when she went down and shut out Texas A&M Commerce, who went to the NCAA tournament, and then shut out Rollins 1-0 in the second game.
That was a big one.
I believe it was the only time Rollins was shut out all year, was that early 1-0 game.
High-power offense is huge accomplishment. I mean, we're talking about Rollins' defense, you know, but CSU defense is just as good. Just as good.
And then you look, CSU also shut North Georgia out twice last year by 1-0 scores, and that was one of the other top scoring teams in the country.
Yeah, high-power offense. That was a really great tactical game that CSU did there.
5 and change to go. 2-0. Columbus State has made 2 early goals by Olivia Gerald. Hold up.
Oh, what a good play. I like that. Gerald is a player, you know. She wasn't selfish. She was passing that ball in the middle. There you go, good cross. I'm really happy to see that Becca crossing. That was pretty good cross.
They play it out now. Here's your other cornerback.
I want to see her get involved in offense. It's a huge when you have played a nice combination.
Corsione loose in the box.
That's good. That's good. They trying to combine that. They're looking for each other. You know, that's sign of a big time team. They're unselfish. They're really looking for a player who's in better position to score the goal.
Only 8 shots on the night for Lynn, only 3 of them on goal. So Malin Parsons really hasn't been busy because 5 of them have completely missed the mark.
Yeah, one was really that last shot they took on her. That was a very dangerous shot. So that's the only, for me, only scoring chance that they had.
Janowitz into the center for Gerald, plays it back to Corsione. Chipping it across, looking for Janowitz, who was in the right spot, just couldn't save it and keep it with her.
Wrong foot again, Stephen.
Another
should have been left foot.
Another cross, this time by Janowitz, headed away. 3:30 to go.
You know, all these things, when you go through tape, you know, you can learn from this.
Will be a sub coming on here with just over 3 minutes to go. Georgia Robert will come back in for Lynn.
Coming as well.
Natalia Ramirez coming back as Kelsey Lawrence coming off.
We have a little bit. We have 3 minutes left, so
Down under 3 minutes to go. Columbus State on its way to keeping itself unbeaten in the regular season. Unbeaten in last year's regular season, and they're going to start this one unbeaten as well.
no nonsense. You see, this is clearance, but was directional clearance. Playing it in a what we call it's you don't have a target open, but you make the target. You play it in certain areas, so target makes it there. So you make yourself target.
Corsione in the corner now, just stalling down there as CSU tries to wind down the final seconds on this clock. It'll be Columbus State and Lee at 4:30 on Sunday right here on Cougar Sports TV. Your Sunday schedule, 4 more games coming up, all of them right here on Cougar Sports TV from the Walden Soccer Complex. It'll be Tusculum and Tampa kicking things off at 9 a.m. Newberry and Rollins at 11:30. Lynn and West Florida will meet at 2 o'clock. And then Columbus State and Lee at 4:30 will finish that off as the final one. Gerald, one last shot at the hat trick there, hits it high of the crossbar.
She has the power. We know that now.
90 seconds down and counting.
So you will be very excited on Sunday, having 4 games.
4 more games, 4 in the books today, 4
Piece
more
of
on
cake,
Sunday.
Steven.
No big deal, right?
Cakewalk. I'm telling you, on that sun, you're probably going to lose 10 pounds. It's like in this brick oven here.
It is cooled down outside, but not in here, that is for sure. Ramirez with it.
This is our very lost program here.
Overall, though, it's going to go down as a good night for the Lady Cougars. They came, the name of the game is wins. And at the end of the night,
it's clean win. You know, sometimes it doesn't have to be long. Obviously, there was plenty of chances to win 4-0, 5-0, whatever. But for me, it's clean win. It's clean cut victory, clean as a whistle. You know, for me, I'm pleased with this.
They will have to step the play up, though, on Sunday against a lead team that we watched. Didn't score against Rollins in the match right before this, but could have scored 2, 3, or 4 goals.
They do have talented players, Lee. So it's going to be a challenge for CSU defense.
25 seconds left to keep the clean sheet for Malin Parsons, who's about to rack up shutout number 1 in 2015 to start her junior season. As they start the countdown down from 10.
8, 7, 6,
No goal, please.
3, 2,
And that will wind things down. The clock and the horn will sound. And that will put an end to this 2-0 opening night here in Columbus, Georgia. Olivia Gerald, the one who registers the only 2 goals. Could have probably won a lot of money if you'd have said that was the only 2 they were going to get. But she starts off her collegiate career in style, and CSU starts off 2015 in style.
And she finishing game also. You know, you wouldn't think freshman's going to finish game. She finishing game. Overall, you know, it's a good performance for first game. It was good rhythm game. Very exciting players they were very excited to play, so it reflected. I mean, a lot of people going to expect big. Well, Lynn didn't win big, you know, nor CSU. So kind of everything is in right place. You can see a lot of chances that CSU had. As I said, it could have been 4 or 5-0 game, but you know, 2-0 is a quality win. It wasn't terribly impressive, but it wasn't bad neither.
2-0, CSU finishes off Lynn to improve to 1-0 on the season. Lady Cougars will turn their attention now to Lee at 4:30 on Sunday in the final of 8 games in this CSU Collegiate Invitational. Lynn will take on West Florida at 2 o'clock here on Sunday afternoon. Partner, it was fun, the first of many we'll do this year.
Exactly. Thank you, Steven. Happy to be here.
CSU wins the season opener 2-0 over Lynn. Back in action on Sunday. We kick things off at 9 a.m. here on Cougar Sports TV, and we hope you will join us then. The Lady Cougars victorious in the season opener here to start off 2015. For my partner, Tony Frankovich, this is Stephen Williams saying so long from Columbus, Georgia.